This past year, we've got to see two big new film camera releases, which was much to my surprise. If you would have told me 2 to 3 years ago that we were getting a high quality new film camera in 2024, I honestly think I would have just scoffed at you. Much to my surprise, both the Pentax 17 and Mintz Rollei 35AF have found much success in the current film photography market. So much so that I think we could be seeing not only another film camera from Pentax's film photography project, but another modern version of a legendary film camera first developed in the late 50s, the WIDELUXX. I'll cover more about its re-release here in a second, but first let's cover some ground and get some understanding of the original camera. The WideLux is a panoramic camera, meaning it takes a wide-angled cinematic photo, unlike most other 35mm or medium format cameras. Most famously known, the Hasselblad X-Pan is also a panoramic camera that you may be familiar with. Both of these cameras take some incredible movie-like photos, but that comes with quite a price tag. However, unlike the X-Pan, instead of a shutter, the camera has a slit that exposes the film as the lens pivots on a horizontal arc. This pivot allows for some distortion effects not available with traditional cameras. The WideLux was made for over 40 years, starting in 1958, but even some more recent models were made up until 2000. Like I said before, there is 35mm and medium format versions out there, so there is quite a bit of different variety for this camera. Also, because of the unique nature of the camera, there was definitely some interesting people who ended up shooting it. Stanley Kubrick was one user using the camera on set, capturing some really interesting photos. In the same vein, NASA also loved the science fiction look that they could capture with the wide lens and unique features of the camera, so they used it quite a bit as well. However, there was one person, Jeff Bridges, who took the camera into the stratosphere and, as we'll learn in a second, is the main driving force behind bringing us this revival of the WideLux in 2025. Jeff Bridges, known for many different roles, but known mainly by me as the dude in Big Lebowski, captured hundreds of crazy photos on a wide variety of blockbuster Hollywood sets, ranging widely in locations, costume types, movie types, different actors and actresses. There are some real interesting behind-the-scenes photos captured on such a unique camera. Because Jeff got so good and comfortable with the WideLux, he was able to start experimenting with the camera more and started to create a unique double portrait style photo of some of America's favorite actors while on set. In a way that it reminds me of the classic theater masks, Jeff was able to create a good number of these with different people in different places. Jeff would also go on to publish a book called Pictures, highlighting many of his famous photos taken on the WideLux and other cameras over the years. Well, funnily enough, from Jeff himself, he said that his love for photography and specifically the WideLux camera started in a high school photography class where he first saw the camera. Fast forward many years later to his wedding day, where again, his wedding photographer just so happened to be shooting with the WideLux and he was amazed. His wife took note and shortly after their wedding got him a camera as a gift for her artistic husband. However, obviously his acting career had taken off, so the camera had taken a place on the shelf, at least until he would pick it up again in the height of his career. Well, fast forward a couple years again, where SilverGrain Classic, a really cool film photography outlet and media company, did a podcast with Jeff where he had joked about what it would take to team up and bring his beloved WideLux back to distribution to the masses. After Jeff had brought it up a couple times on the podcast, we recently got word that they officially are teaming up to bring back the WideLux, a new film camera, in 2025. However, they quickly ran into some issues. Panon, the original creator of the camera, their plans and blueprints had all been lost to history for many, many years. Because of this, the camera would have to be created completely from scratch, which is good and bad. Good because they get to redesign from the ground up and probably get a much smaller, better, more modular and compact camera. Plus, with modern manufacturing and metals, because they stated there would be no plastics in it, it'll be more rigid and less likely to break, I'd imagine. However, because there is minimal references, it's going to be more difficult to produce and certainly more expensive because of it. SilverGrain has also said that they're going to try to improve some of the shortcomings of the original models, which is great news to hear as well. With that being said, the good news is that they found a company in Germany to manufacture the camera. They also are focusing on ethical sourcing and manufacturing at the forefront of the project, which is obviously cool. Jeff and SilverGrain aren't trying to build a cheap camera or rebrand an Alibaba style camera like we've seen before in the past. Sorry. Now, yes, it is a premium film camera, seemingly being created in a somewhat premium way, and it's not being manufactured in China or Vietnam, so yeah, it's probably going to be pricey. Certainly more expensive than both the cameras we got this past year. I think both of those retailed for $500 and $900 respectively, but my guess is that with this camera, we could be looking at probably double those prices. Staying in that same premium vein, I guess we could say, SilverGrain also promised to have a repair team, which is pretty cool. Not only are they selling the product, but they're also offering kind of infrastructure for the future of the product as well. So what does this mean for us? Well, as of now, I'm guessing we'll be getting the camera sometime in 2025 with updates obviously coming along the way. I'm guessing it'll probably be somewhere between $1,000 and $1,600 if I had to guess. Okay, so as I was editing this, I was doing a little bit more research, and consensus seems to be that the camera will be probably at least $3,000. There's a lot of people on Reddit thinking that it'll be probably, upwards of $4,000. So yeah, I guess start saving your pennies. And really the only update in the last, month or so has been a new website, which is WideLUXX with 2 X's. Kind of interesting that they're trying to separate from the original camera while keeping the same name, obviously. The website just has some marketing jargon as well as a short video with Jeff discussing his love for the camera. It's kind of fun to putz around in there. I'll make sure to link it in the description if you want to check it out. Otherwise, I think that's all the info that I have about the camera. Once I know more and they share more, hopefully in a blog post or on their website or something, you guys will be the first ones to know. Otherwise, let me know down in the comments if this is something that would interest you. Can you see yourself being interested in the camera? And do you think that that price point, if I am correct, would turn you off for the camera? I'm guessing for most people coming in at that price point is a little steep. I think most people were kind of, I don't want to say complaining, but saying that the other 2 cameras, the Pentax and the Rolei, were a little too expensive. So I would imagine that this being a more premium, kind of more niche camera, coming in at a higher price is falling just in line with people's notions towards that as well. With that being said, I am hoping that this camera succeeds. I think the more that these cameras, especially these premium ones, do well, we could be seeing different cameras, hopefully bigger camera companies like Nikon, Fuji, etc., dip their toes back into the game and recreate some of our beloved cameras or bring some new ones to the market, because obviously there is quite an interest for them. Otherwise, that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Till the next one, stay safe, stay shooting. Adios.